Hello, my friends. Welcome to another draft on MTG Arena with the Alchemy Horizons Baldur's Gate Commander Legends something set. Still having a good time with this. You may be curious looking at the length of the video and seeing speed run, which is what I've titled it, and wondering how does that work? And I will remind you that slow is a speed. The draft was interesting. The draft was good. The gameplay was at an interesting pace. But I'll let you enjoy that for yourself. Thank you so much for watching. If you do like the content here, be sure to subscribe, as well as like, comment, all that good stuff for the algorithm. Thank you so much, and enjoy. Good old ancient copper dragon. So 6 mana, 6/5 flyer. It's pretty good. I like Grave Choice a lot, and Grim Bounty a lot, and Prowler a lot. But if you're not going to take the dragon in the Dungeons & Dragons set, I don't exactly know what's wrong with you. I do need to remember that the opponents I'm facing on the weekends are very different than the ones I used to play on the weekdays. They value 2-drops a lot higher than me. And I've seen people argue that this is like a great card when it's like somewhat obviously not. This pack kind of stinks though. I'm having a hard time finding a best card in this pack. Could take the rare and see if we end up in something incredibly aggressive, like a lot more aggressive than I normally play. Yeah, I'm literally taking it over nothing here. I don't think it really goes in the same deck as this dragon, even though they're the same color. Just kind of awkward. Alright, we've got a Rescuer Chungus, Muralists, Priest of Ancient Lore, Lindworm. Another kind of less exciting pack. I could see the Rescuer Chungus doing some work. I also quite like the Muralists. And I've already got a dragon to fetch with it if that pans out. So I think I'll go with the Muralists, but I could respect the Chungus there. I've seen some things it can do. Okay, Battlecry Goblin has me interested. That means I can probably play red if we're getting this 4th pick. I also quite like the Hunting Party. But it's still kind of interesting that like I'll probably play Fiendlash or the Copper Dragon. Probably not both. Although I suppose you could and just accept that your deck's going to have some aggressive draws, and sometimes you're going to draw the Fiendlash and it's not going to be very good. I usually like a Herd Gorger in most of my green decks. If you get a little bit of ramp, it would give me 2 6s, which is a little early to have 2 6s. If there's any deck that you could actually play the Knoll Hunter in, it would be green-red. But these should come by much later. So I'm going to set up, I guess, for big green-red, which means this is kind of like questionable, but everything else looks reasonable. A solid removal spell in any color would pivot me. So here's some blue cards. They're not particularly good ones. Archery's okay. The Sellsword's okay. I think given that my strongest 2 cards, like however you count it, are red, I'm probably just going to take the dragon. Maybe try to cut my neighbor out of it. Okay. Here's some more solid indications that we could potentially do something in green. I could see playing an aggressive enough deck that would want the Warcaller. I just don't want it here. This kind of comes down to me between the Basilisk and the Stalwart. I think I'm going to take the Basilisk. It's a solid 2-drop. It doesn't super play well with the aggro plan, but That's the idea. It is kind of interesting the dungeon mechanic didn't make any sort of appearance here. Because I kind of liked it. I still can't really tell if we're more red or green. But you can play combat tricks in red-green for sure. That's a decent removal spell to still be here. Not great. I think I'd like to have access to the Eder cap. This is weird. That should still be there. I don't quite know what that's about, but I'm gonna look into it. Yeah, there's some world where we pivot into green-black. Because there's like synergy pieces for it spinning here. I don't think I'd get into blue, but we may as well have some options. It might be here because it has too many words. That's fair. All of the Trikes is not a bad card either. Like, that's potentially something we could just play. So the Balor is a good flying threat. I think this probably cements us in red. Which is good, we cut red. Queegee, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Y'all spam some cats for Quee. I hope things are well in your world. Yeah, I think we'll go with that. It's a solid 5. We can sort of figure out what else we're doing. This is kind of the moment of truth, I reckon, between whether we want this Myconid or the Bonecaller Cleric. The Myconid would let us ramp to our 6s and potentially splash some of this stuff. Yeah. I'm probably more interested in the Myconid. It just feels weird not to have any removal, right? And I could take the Sewer Plague, potentially. But I guess I'm going to trust that we'll get some, and it could be almost any color because I could splash it. There's a band together, so all aboard. We're doing this now. I think we're probably playing the Trikes just for the round. Oh, a Dragonfire. All right, cool. I can just pick up a couple 2s and 3s and we got us a Sadak. This isn't exactly what I want, but it is a 2. I think it's like one of the worst 2s we could get. Yeah, for that reason, I'm going to grab the Line Up the Shot. As I'm usually pretty happy main decking one of these. Take one more 6. It's not 100% to play. I'd probably need one more piece of ramp to do that comfortably. Kind of same here. So that leaves me not super wanting this. We're not going to be playing treasures for this. I like one copy so that I have 2 dragons to fetch with the Muralists. I think here we just take the Prism in case we do decide we want to splash. I don't love the red dragon. We're not really fueling this together very well either. I guess there's worlds where I could bring this in on the play. I'm at the point now where I have to take basically any 2-drop I see. And this was the big difference between that I found drafting on the weekends and drafting during the weekdays. Is weekdays you didn't have to prioritize 2-drops. You just played whatever came around. On the weekends, they really seem to go at a premium. Good morning, Orcish. I can't remember if I said that already. All right, maybe we play another one. Iron Golem's not too bad either. Got plenty of playables. I just need to fix this part of the curve. Even got like card advantage sideboard options, which I dig. It's hard to find a lot of card advantage in this color pair. I'm very interested in an owl bear. I think we'd play the gate. We're not really set to abuse this, but it is large and doing well, but I've already got another 6-drop I'm probably not playing. So I think we take the band together and keep our eye open for 2-drops and owl bears. This gives me 3 solid removal spells. I can be happy with that. Is that a splash we want to make? I mean, honestly, it is, given that I can fetch it. The problem is, like, is it better here? Because the splash is already done with the Myconid and the Follow the Tracks. It's just, it's another 6. So if I take this, I kind of have to take literally every other 2 and 3 that I see, or I could just take Ambergris. But, I mean, again, it's Dungeons and Dragons. Now we just gobble up every 2 and 3 we see. See, Ishtari gets it. It's not Dungeons and Ambergris. Battlecry Goblin not looking so great here, but again, I can just take medium 2 and 3s and probably be fine. There do have to be medium 2s and 3s, which this pack does not have for me. There's a world where we splash that. I just don't think it's super likely. But you can hopefully see why I'm not playing the Fiend Lash in this. It's just not aggressive enough. All right, I think this is a prime candidate for a Circle of the Moon Druid. It's an attacker that can turn on the Battlecry Goblin and a decent blocker. And this is the part of our curve that needs work. We'd probably play the Fire Beetles too. There's not a ton of dragons to go with this, but there's enough. Nurturer's not bad. We're looking to ramp. I think the deck probably plays the gate to the Sea Tower now. Yeah, that's fair. The Moon Druid is pretty damn good with that. I was just thinking the Basilisk kind of have that covered, but you're right. This plus like a 1-2 will probably kill anything we need to. And it looks like this area is mostly full. I think we've basically got everything we would want from here, right? I've already got... I do not have an Eder Cap. I thought I had one. Okay, cool. I would like access to one. I don't think I want the Pilgrim's Eye. I think I'd rather play the gate than an island. All right, I'm a tiny bit short here, but I've got some filler cards. This deck is going to need to play Dragon's Fire as a 2-drop, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Huh. Black was like open adjacent. I hope you enjoy your Za. We're going to be really well positioned against a deck that's heavy flyers. I like that. Alright, so I think this is 17 lands and we need 5 more playables. Which we have. Like I can play another Sellsword. I can main deck an Eder Cap. Could play an Iron Golem. I think I like Prism, Iron Golem, Young Red Dragon, and a Druidic Ritual. If these are going to be our, like, filler cards. I think they'll do the most work for me. Yeah, I think I can get behind that. So I don't actually need a blue source, right? I've got the Myconid to follow the tracks and the gate to the sea tower to take care of that. So a little heavier green would be nice. So maybe 8. I could go 8-8. But I don't think I need to. I think I need to go 9-8. Because most of my 2-drops are green, and green can get me, or 9-7 rather, green can get me the red. So let's do that. All right. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. I didn't do that quite right. Yeah, I need one more mountain. I forgot to count the gate because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, still had one too many for us. It's because it's not removing it. Okay, there we go. We did it. This is still kind of a dragon-y deck. There's not really like a, hey, you're playing Teamer. Yeah, I'll go with kind of a dragon-y theme. That works. We've got a green dragon pet, right? Yeah, cool. All right, I'm game. Let's take this out for a spin. It's pretty good if we hit one land. We do need to hit that land, but I have faith. I don't love the Arcane Archery either. We did end up with maybe 4, I'd say, super filler cards. Nice. I mean, I'd even take another land drop after this one, to be fair. I've also noticed people play a bit slower on the weekends, which is also, like, kind of is what it is, you know? This is pretty painfully slow, though. My apologies. All of the double team cards have been better than I initially thought they would be. So what is a Balor? I take it it's some sort of D&D demon, but I don't remember that one. I mean, these are still timed, right? Yeah, I guess it hasn't even been that long. It just kind of feels like it. I'm willing to believe you have something. Ah, that actually makes a lot of sense. Okay. Not what I was expecting, but sure. I'll block with this. Well, they may be thinking, they may be watching something on TV. Different people play at different paces for different reasons. It could be three buddies on a Discord call. Play how you want. No one plays Magic before having their coffee. That's just silly. Let me make sure it's up to date. Yeah, agree, Sean. It's a group of friends I have that does that too. I don't typically play with them there, but it says it's up to date. I'm going to refresh it. All right, if you guys feel like doing a restart, let me know if it's working now. I think I like leaving up band together, archery, and the shot here. And we'll start attacking next turn. Because the goblin token with archery up is kind of cool. I'll cycle this into turn if they don't play something to kill with it. I'm sorry, Ishari. It says it's working, but it's clearly not. There was an update today. So maybe it needs a minute or two. Sim Baby has some thoughts. You can probably hear her. Every time you play this slowly, a baby cries. So I want you to remember that in your real life, when you and your buddies are on your Discord call. You can't play this slowly. They did manage to do 2 damage with their 3 damage card. It's impressive. Okay. I'm beginning to think it's probably not several people playing together. Yeah, we seem to be okay. You can handle that. Fast-paced, exciting gameplay. That said, I grew up on Magic Online. This ain't nothing. And it's making sure I get my money's worth. I mean, they're getting their money's worth. They played 10 minutes of Magic, and I've only played 3.5. I double queued exactly once on Magic the Gathering Online, and it was terrible, and I literally never did it again. This is fine. I'm beginning to see why people used to tell me they'd tune in from work watching the stream and tell me that a card was good. And it's because the players who are playing on Saturday mornings are just not as good. She's a very advanced baby. They got me. I'm in trouble now. Oh, poor opponent. Feel kind of bad for him. I don't see any real reason to play the combat trick. Yeah, if they want to attack with it, that's fine by me. I'll just let them see creatures. So what were your thoughts on the social contract and double queuing in Magic Online, Mr. League? Interestingly, I didn't have that take. I thought it shouldn't have been allowed in the program. I thought it was stupid and made you play worse, but... Nice, Sean. I suspect SimBaby will be doing that one day. All right, so if they're going to beat me at all, it would be through aggression. So if we could streamline this deck at all, that would be nice. So I think we're going to make our mana a little bit better and cut the splash entirely. Because I don't need it to beat this. I just need to hit land drops. I really can't play this young red dragon either. Do I have anything to play over that? Got 14 creatures. That's kind of rough, man. Well, the Utter Cap at least blocks their entire team. Yeah, I expect SimBaby will be gaming before too long. I do think it's disrespectful. Like, I'll agree with you there, Lake. I feel like it should have been taken right out of the system. It never should have been allowed. It's a whole different world away. How many babies you got, Sean? Babies first troll. I like it. Nah. I'll draw something. Four-year-old and a newborn. My goodness, I can't imagine having a 4-year-old with a newborn. Enjoy, Mr. Lake. A classic pastime. We've all been there. It's not the most aggressive start from them, so I may still be okay even though we're on the draw. I just want to confuse everybody by having one of each style of art. That makes me happy. It's the simple things, really. What is Go Nuts for Donuts? I would like to know more. Right on time with the ramp. I like it. That's interesting. So you have to pick the best donut you think no one else is taking. It's like I imagine maple bacon just owns in that scenario. Because it's obviously the best donut and very nearly no one ever wants it. I want to be able to block something this turn. That's why we put the Utter Cap in the deck. This may enable them to counter it at some point, but we'll just ritual it back. Boston Cream's not the worst donut ever made. There's those confectionery sugar donuts, and I like fundamentally don't understand why those exist. Not that they're bad, just that they are definitively the worst donut ever made. Like, I'd still rather have it than not have a donut. But I'd rather have nearly any other kind of donut over that. Why play the 2 minions and not the dragon on that turn? As I mentioned, I want to be able to block, right? They have a bunch of menace creatures, and my opponent has made some, shall we say, questionable decisions about how they like to play the game. So what I'd like to do is try to set them up to get blowed out. If they're going to beat me, which I don't think they are, but if they were going to, it would be because of the menace creatures. So I've got plenty of time to play the dragon and kill them with it. What I need to do is just make sure I don't die. Not dying wins this matchup. Like, they kind of just threw away their best card against me. At least as far as I can tell. What is an American donut truck? We don't have those. But I guess it's a truck selling American-style donuts. Okay, I can believe that's a thing that exists. They've played so much more Magic than me, it just doesn't seem fair. I'm just doing this so it'll get past all the auto yields. These lands have been pretty dang good. I guess we still try to smack him to death with the dragon. I mean, I'm pretty comfortable with that, Corky. I guess we'll try the mill. We could draw something better than the Myconid dude. And we did. I was about to say, do Australians have barbecue? And then I realized it just means something entirely different. But we're not going to get into that conversation again. And Auntie has mentioned I don't think he would like North Carolina style barbecue, or as I like to call it, barbecue. Man, they're really getting their money's worth. I really need a yawning emote. There's some tastes I don't like either, so I got no grief for you there. It's probably also an acquired taste. It's just something I grew up with. What do they say, Orcish? Hadn't heard that one before. But like, here's an illustration of how I was so aggressive about blocking earlier, is our opponent has kind of shown us consistently that they're willing to chump block to prevent damage that's not lethal. So we kind of need to take advantage of that and just make sure we don't die to them being aggressive. Once we can land something big enough that they're scared of it, they'll throw their creatures under it. And this is like, play the game however you want. We're just playing someone who's not super confident in their magic abilities, would be my guess. If they would ever like to get very good at magic, I cannot help them do that, but I could get them to medium at draft. Because there was kind of some basic fundamentals on display there that were a little difficult. And for them, it would appear currently, which was difficult for me when I started playing too. But like, that's a good example of when to change your play a little bit, just to make sure that you don't die. So many things to learn today. That ain't lovely, but we'll give it a go.
"29 years of the best community on Twitch. All the love to the wholesome fam TGMLO."
Thank you so much, Band Geek. Y'all spam some cats for Band Geek. I appreciate your support. I'd rather get the Basilisk going. I don't really see any reason to wait on this. I know it's an instant, but like, just don't care. Like, we're pretty obviously Iron Goleming next. And then just gianting and trying to kill them. That's crazy, man. But I do remember young Band Geek in the stream, you know, 10 years ago when I was getting started. And I appreciate you being here. It's been an interesting transition from hobby streamer to full-time streamer to dad, weekend streamer. And I think I may take a crack at full-time streaming again, or at least more time than I'm able to do now when Sim Baby is in kindergarten. So set your calendars, about 4 years. How old are you? What are you looking to sell? Because yeah, I'll have a lot of tips for you. Don't listen to Auntie at all. So you're saying I have no morals, Auntie? Is that what you were communicating to me? Cybersecurity software, okay. Are you calling people? Meeting them in person? Yeah, you did. You helped me fix my computer when I worked in sales. Okay. Although fair. Okay. I've got a great deal of advice for you. In fact, if you want it, so much so that I'd like to finish this game and then focus on talking to you about it for a minute. This is a green-white deck splashing Asterion. The other cap should be good here, even though we didn't see stuff that it would be great against. I'm like, these guys were filler anyway. I think that's about all I can do. Yeah, I was in sales for, God, 20 years. And I apologize to Auntie. I love Auntie to pieces. He is a very, very good dude. But that's a personal trigger for me. It's because you, like a lot of people think of salespeople as slimy and gross. It's a profession. You can absolutely do it without being slimy and gross. And there's a lot of people who do. But there's also a lot of bad actors. Like one of the challenges with it is you don't need any special education or a degree to do sales. So some people will try to do it by force. That doesn't actually work well if you want to stick with a company. Or keep your customers. It works great for selling like steak knives or something. And there's also a lot of miscommunication about somebody's in retail and says they're in sales. They're kind of not. When I could, I preferred working business to business. I suppose it's one way to convince them that they need the knife. Okay, so we don't have blue mana. So we probably just take this. Okay, cool. Let's do that. Well, that didn't work out particularly well, now did it? I can't currently kill the enabler, which is super awkward. But I have to trade with this. So we'll do that. That's really not ideal. I'm going to prepare for our sales conversation. All right, so what can I do with this? I can draw 2 non-lands and see if they're any good. Jump block at the very worst. I don't mind giving them treasure tokens. They've got plenty of mana and they've got all their colors anyway. So I think we hit with this and draw 2 non-lands. It is still going to be difficult to deal with this, but at least we've turned off the engine. Hey, what's up then, Garth? Happy Catter Day. And now we've taken this out, so that seems pretty good. Behold, my young red dragon. Y'all spam some cats for Thengarth. Thank you, my friend. We're still pretty close to dead here. I would like to be not dead. I should have attacked with these. It's not like they're blocking. Sorry, distracted by the dying. We do need to put a clock on them, so that was just a mistake. It seems kind of weird, doesn't it? Definitely looks like a young red dragon. What led you to want to get into sales, Nick? Cat spam is always welcome. Okay. We've used both of these now, right? Yeah. Hiya! Can probably get some value out of the archery this turn. I'm trying to decide if we attack with the blabber and just get crap out of the way. They're looking to make that a 3-3, so I'm not going to let them. All right, so this is getting popped. We may as well see what that is first. Yeah, I'm just playing this. I don't need to bother with goblin value. We appear to have turned the corner. I don't think so. Could I have? I certainly could have if I hadn't missed an attack earlier. But it's entirely possible I'm missing stuff. Don't play as much as I used to. Now they can make this arbitrarily large by popping... No, it's only creatures. Okay. Oh yeah, the archery does give trample for sure. So probably could have, especially with them empty-handed. I certainly should have. At 6, 12, I have to attack with this too. Have all the treasure tokens. The sound bug kind of irritates me sometimes too, but we got that one done. It's good. The book to buy is Unlock the Sales Game. If you just Google Ari Galfer, you'll find it. It's a stupid title, but it's basically teaching the principles of how to do sales without being a slime ball. Because one of my first sales gigs when I was young and impressionable and didn't quite know, he lives in Australia, was door-to-door vacuum sales. And there were a lot of sleazeballs in that. And they told me to do stuff that was just dishonest, and I wouldn't do it. And I quickly got out of that, but recognized that I did like sales. I just had to find a reputable company. And I was very fortunate to do that, and then spent 13 years with them. I ended up kind of hating the company by the end, but it changed a lot from what it was when I started. And I was happy to get out of it. Which has brought me to a new career of being a full-time daddy, which is a whole different world. I don't think you've mentioned that, bub. I assume it's not Ari Galfer's sales organization. There's a lot of support people that work in sales too, and you basically need to treat them like they're made of gold. Some salespeople can get arrogant and kind of look down on the other people at their companies. You really need to not do that. I'm not suggesting you kiss their butts or whatever, but just be nice to your coworkers. I mean, just be nice to everybody. It's high EV. And this hand would be so good with a land. But I think in the blind, I'm mulling a one-lander. This one has potential. Figure the deck's full of jaded cell swords, so I don't need to keep one. Nick, thank you for the Prime sub, man. You didn't have to do that, but I really appreciate it. Y'all spam some cats for Nick. Hey, Mimi, how you doing? Yeah, don't mess with a guy who can wipe your phone. Solid advice. You're always welcome. I'll be streaming on the weekends these days. This sounds pretty good. I'm adjusting to my new life as a full-time dad and recognizing that, like, I'm not going to stream as often as I thought I was as a full-time dad, and that's okay. But I'm very appreciative that my wife is giving me some time on the weekends to hang out with you guys and gals and play some video games. I had somehow thought that watching a young child all day would leave you with tons of free time, and it kind of does. But it's like a weird 30 minutes here while they're sleeping on you. And it might be an hour and a half, it might be 20 minutes. You don't know when you sit down. So it's like you can do anything you want for a period of time that you don't know yet, as long as you're sitting in exactly this position. I hope this is the mill. Yeah, as long as we don't hit our Druidic ritual from that, it's great for us to get milled. I think we do need to go ahead and kill this. So we're going to go ahead and band together here. I don't think I want to trade that. It wouldn't be crazy. Okay. That sounds reasonable. I mean, sales is a necessary profession. I think there's people that do it as a profession and people that do it as, like, I don't know. I was going to say hustle, but I don't think that word means these days what it used to mean. There's a 2-mana counterspell. I'm going to run this out first, as I think I'd prefer to have the Copper Dragon land. If something's going to get countered, I think it's better for it to be this. It's also pretty high upside if it lands. And we can start getting some attacks in now. But I think that's the distinction too. If somebody thinks of themselves as a professional salesperson versus they're like, yeah, I'm in sales. Hello, little one. I'm being visited by the baby and the mama. She's the cutest baby. See the cute baby? Okay, so what are they doing? They're giving me my choice of these to kill? Okay, sure, we'll kill the ghoul. One time at my old job, I got a meeting set up in person and I accidentally farted and they got mad and left. It's pretty great, man. That's pretty great. Yeah. So my company hired an IT director, what Simwife is referencing. And in those days, I was a smoker. I was outside having a cigarette, and this dude that I've never met before walks out of the office, looks me straight in the eye, pantomimes pulling a hand grenade pin out and throwing it, bends over, covers his ears, and lets out one of the loudest farts I've ever heard, and then lights up a cigarette and grins. And I was like, all right, I think I'm going to like this guy. And I did. I can cast it again. But it's quite capable of killing me. Well, this gives me a way to kill the 6/6, so I think we hold. Because I need to make sure that 6/6 dies. Then we can just win the game. If they draw a removal spell, I'm probably just dead. So kind of need to hope that they don't. Sounds good, Nick. Thanks again for the support. And yeah, come talk to me about sales anytime, man. A Gnoll hunting party, huh? Challenge here is that's kind of going to kill me too. A little less so now. I don't think I can actually get anything better, so I'm just going to take this and my land. They're going to get 2 of them, which sucks, but I can chump block it. And this can take care of it. Will you cast the dang serpent yet? Oh, they can't. They need another land to cast the serpent. Don't super care about that. I don't think I cast the Follow the Tracks here. I think we consider that for next turn. Because I'm planning to chump block with a Myconid. Well, not necessarily. We'll see how this goes. I'm hoping it's the Serpent. Because I can handle the Knoll. I can't handle the Serpent. Well, I can handle the Serpent. I can't handle the Knoll and the Serpent. And the Serpent is more deadly long term. But I need to turn into being able to attack here in a minute. Hey, what's up, Speedy One? How you be? The famous organizer of the Sweatsuit Invitational himself. You in the same town? Or are you moving somewhere different? Changing houses or? Hello, Dead Zed. How you doing? But can they make it? I could get it to 6. I almost have to kill whatever they put this on. Nice. I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, that'll be a big adjustment, but I imagine less work as well. I didn't quite recognize how much work it was maintaining a house until I had one. Yeah, I'm gonna have to kill that. I can't handle 7 power first striker. Do we cycle this? think we do. I don't mind the Iron Golem attacking, and I can do that and follow some tracks. Don't mind it blocking either. I mean, sort of. But I think I can swing with the Manticore next turn anyway. Or excuse me, with the Dragon next turn anyway. It'll get to a tag. I think it's good to attack now. Free dead Manticore. I don't think two of these is helping. Hey, what's up, Emmett? How have you been? This gives me lethal with 2 connects in the air, which I think is what we need. They should have swung team there. And I think I'm winning because they didn't. Has that ever rolled anything besides 7? I mean, it is a good number. Just saying, every time I've connected with the Copper Dragon, it's been 7. Some numbers are more random than others. Fair enough. Danger! Danger! High voltage! It might be a nice Dargon. We might also be dead. We will see. Yeah, that ain't doing it. Show me what you got. It'd be nice if it was something good. It's pretty good. $20 with an empty hand. Sounds good, Sid. It might have been better to swing team first and then use this. I'm getting lazy. I can't think of anything they could draw and use for 2 mana to get me here. But Dragon's Fire would do it. This is a dragon, not a sea serpent. Man, it has been just a day of slow play. I don't know what it is about the weekends. People just play a lot slower. Yeah, same, but I played sloppy, so I can't really give them too much grief. Ettercap has targets, and there's things to block. I think I might like an Ettercap. Probably over the young red dragon. Like, I'm going to be more interested in blocking on the draw anyway. Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with this. Let's do that. I'm used to being able to draft and finish a draft in an hour, and I think this one's going to take like closer to an hour and 40 minutes. It's probably overall a good thing. It means more newer players are coming into Arena. It's not a bad start. That could have been a halfling rogue. I guess they're not as traditionally, halflings aren't as traditionally evil, whereas tieflings are a little more neutrally suited. Nugget Fantasy just placed an epic Templar. I'm gonna be honest, sometimes I have Nugget fantasies. I'd be lying if I said I didn't. I don't think I care about killing that. All right. I'm a little bit reticent to trade this off with the band together in hand. So I think we're going to just draw a card off of the gate, take whatever damage they want to hit me with the Immolator, and then play the Herd Gorger. If they're able to kill that and we Druidic Ritual it back, we probably win the game. I could also just trade the Battlecry Goblin for it. Good morning, Rykor. How have you been? Oh no, I hated Neo. I quit playing Magic for 6 months because of Neo. I will never draft that format again. It was awful. Also hate Best of One. This format's great. Having a blast with this one. Yeah, I really didn't care for New Kamigawa. I think I probably did 20 drafts and then just stopped playing Magic. Well, it's also a lot easier for me to enjoy a format these days where I'm streaming 10 hours a week instead of 40. Like, any format is fun for 20 drafts. The difference is now that's like 10 weeks of drafting instead of 2 days. You know what I mean? So specifically for me in Neon Dynasty, I felt like I got to make less decisions. But I suppose the end of it is I don't particularly enjoy formats where one drops need to be respected. It's just too fast for me. I feel like I don't get to play a game. I want a little bit more back and forth. And there's some formats, and Neon Dynasty was one of them, that just sort of felt like the game was more about your opening hand than gameplay decisions, and I didn't care for that. But it's okay for different people to like different things. I mean, my rule now is I'm going to play Magic if I like the current draft set on Arena, and if I don't, I'll play something else. I've been having a blast with the cycle lately and having a lot of fun streaming that too. So that'll certainly be something we do. Right, get me. Yeah, there you go. Some people like peanut butter and some people are weird. I mean, some people don't. I don't think I know anyone who's not allergic to peanut butter that doesn't like it. Nice, John. No, you can't. We got more dragons where that came from. I probably just cast the Utter Cap. It's a really solid blocker. It's pretty good, but Zombub. Okay, that's why you don't cast the Utter Cap. I was not aware that you didn't care for peanut butter, Ewan. Now that I know that, it's a whole different world. We've already popped this, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's okay to like different formats. I didn't care for that one. I didn't like New Capenna. I loved Adventures in Forgotten Realms, and I've heard a lot of people complain about it. That was my most recent favorite set. I said I didn't like Strixhaven when I was playing it, but looking back, I kind of did. It was actually pretty fun. But I also just get really frustrated when I play best of one, so I tend not to. Nice, Ishtari. We hold lands from here in case we draw that demon that lets us recycle our hand. Probably losing here. Yeah, it may have had Dominaria syndrome. Because Dominaria wasn't actually that fun. But Ixalan 2 was... I mean, I don't think Rivals of Ixalan was bad. It was just the same set. With a few more bombs and a few mana costs moved around. It's like, you didn't make any new cards. This is the same damn set. We had one set for 6 months. We're tired of it. You have a ton of people that don't know that's what they're supposed to do too, right? We could also just time this opponent out. They're very nearly out of time. Poor opponent. I don't think they could win a game 3 even if they get to 1. Exciting, fast-paced gameplay. Maybe they'll get me 2 points at a time. Glad I brought in the Utter Cap, though. It looks like it'll be decent. Well, good afternoon, Eggman. I've heard, generally speaking, you don't want to pet the Roo. Just making sure I used that. Cons was a set that felt like a lot like Strixhaven to me, I think. No, the Drider does not have Menace. This is a thing that we learned. Where the drafting experience wasn't great, but the gameplay was a lot of fun. I guess it worked out that I had a favorite deck in Strixhaven, and it was very often open. So I could just do stupid lorehold shenanigans that nobody wanted to do anyway. Yeah, that's when people really kind of broke it. It was fun to draft initially, and then people were like, wait a minute. This isn't a 3-color set at all. Just play them all. Like, I'm not really trying to win via time here, but we're probably going to win via time. Yeah, that's kind of the best part. It ruins the draft for everyone. Which is hard for me to see how that's anybody's favorite draft format. I think we have someone here who's not aware that this is a timed match. The oldest set I've drafted was Mirage in paper when it came out, which is also the oldest set anyone has ever drafted. Well, that's not quite true, but that was the first set designed for draft. And technically I didn't draft Mirage, I drafted Mirage Visions Weatherlight. I mean, who doesn't love a format with Fireball at common? It was great. That's just good game design. I'm still grumpy that Karavek wasn't a Planeswalker in the M set where Karavek was included. I didn't realize you'd only started drafting that recently, Ken. Well, I guess that's not that recently, but it feels recent to me. Well, it feels recent to me. I can remember it like it was yesterday. And that's how you know you're getting really old, when time starts to speed up. Yeah, I can believe that with you, Ewan. I know you're pretty young. I think Kenny's close to my age. And Kenny's also pretty dang good at Magic. But like, in my brain, New Phyrexia was a couple years ago. And I'm like, how is somebody that good at Magic when they just started playing a couple years ago? But it wasn't a couple years ago. It was a decade ago. You can't see it, Ewan. Actually, I'll show you what I was doing there. I was hovering over this. But obviously I'm not going to do it. I bought that one too. It was not my first, but I was excited about it because the glass beads were neat. They've somehow managed to attack me with the Fiend Lash in such a manner that I'm not dying while they have less than 2 minutes on the clock. What's up, Harper? Just like totally fine. I'm just doing my thing. It's not my fault that I have 19 minutes left and they have 2. I don't think they're aware that there's a timer in best of 3. There's not a timer in best of 1. This will give them the opportunity to re-equip their thing and get to scry again. But they're not going to. Interesting. Always play in full control, everyone. Maybe that's what they're doing? I don't know. I kind of want a second Ettercap over the Iron Golem. More or less, Ken, yeah. Probably more than less. We got to keep that a secret, though. Sorry to be holding the Stream Raiders captive for so long, too. I did not anticipate these matches taking this long. I have been really focused on Jund colors in this format for the most part. Although I did a good bit of blue-green in the beginning. It's acceptable. A little slow, but I think that'll be all right. I kind of do hope they kill me in 2 minutes. I actually like the Nurturer here. We can at least stop the Horde Roberts with this. It's going to be an interesting one. I think Band Together is my best bet. Although it is a little scary. Oh, goodness. I might be in danger. If they have a spell, I'm dead. Let's hope they don't have a spell. They knew how the clock worked the whole time. Horde Robber, ladies and gentlemen. And exciting fast-paced magic. We just got the most of our money out of that, if you think about it. Like, I was thinking if we drafted today, we'd have time for 2 drafts, and I don't think we do. Which means value. Who doesn't like value? And a very big thank you to my patrons. Thank you, Punk, Joe, Jesse, Jacob, Scott, Fasty, Rich, Brandon, Jazzy, Craig, and Geis. I appreciate y'all.